Alright, this will be the Forsaken tier list. Everything tier list. That's right. Everything is getting tier listed from Forsaken. This will kind of be my late 1K sub special, even though I didn't really get around to working on it because I was sick and then after that I was a burnout. But other than that, yep, let's do it. So we'll start off first of all with our characters. You know, the one everybody tiers it on. Starting with Noob, solid A. Cola is really good, especially helps you get with chases or to stall chases. And especially very lethal during Last Man Standing. Slate Skin, I would say is probably his weakest ability out of the three. Gives him resistance, allows him to tank hits, ignores damage over time, and slowness or speed debuffs, which helps you a lot against Rondo traps, burning from Cool Kid, or being poisoned. And other than that, Ghost Burger, really effective during Last Man Standing or avoiding detections. Also avoids detections by minions, so if you don't want to get hit by minions, you could use that. But you see most people pull it off during Last Man Standing. Not really much to say. These are all going to be brief explanations. If you want more detailed ones, there's other tier lists to look at. I'll say that. Next up, Elliot S. Supports, I say right now, are currently by far the best class out of the three archetypes we got. Supports are just way too dominant. Elliot is numero uno. Elliot has a heal that can get extended with more generators he does. He can heals up to 40 by himself, which is stupid as it can just negate chases or stall chases even longer because of that. And Rush Hour is his get out of jail free card, allowing him to get out of any god awful situation he puts himself in, or if he wants a guaranteed out stamina killer during short chases. Other than that, nothing much to say. Elliot OP, pretty much. Now we have 2-time D tier. 2-time has nothing going for him, besides an extra life and a little speed boost from it. But then again, most people will just do it, and the Last Man Standing is supposed to be his quote-unquote good spot. But even then, he just is basically a guess without abilities at that point. Nothing much to say about 2-time, but if you really want to argue about 2-time, you could argue that he is the most skilled character with raw skill, not mechanics and stuff, just pure raw skill of just running, juking, and dodging and hiding. Other than that, that's 2-time. Guest, I say Guest is higher than Noob, even though Noob, you see more Noob survive than Guest, from my experience. Guest has way too many stall options. He has extra health from the get-go, meaning he can prolong chases by even more with that. Block can be used as an annoying way to ignore damage or hard punish killers, especially Cool Kid dashes, because that's just basically a guaranteed free charge. Block does not need to be used on the spot. You could also use it as a mind game. You could fake block, bait block. There's a ton of other blocking methods, which forces killers to stall out because of the fear of hitting a block. Even then, even if he hits block, he still has punch, which does not go automatically. Punch makes him just even more of a guessing game, as basically the punish gets worse as it's now a stun instead of just guess getting away with a speed boost or a potential stun. But however, both of those abilities can get baited out pretty hard. And then dash. Guess charge is not that good besides stalling other people's chases or stalling your own chase and getting lucky that the killer hits that you just ignore it with your invincibility. Other than that, yeah, I guess goes A. Guess has just stupid amount of stalling potential, which is just crazy. Next up, we got 007. You could argue he's better than Noob now with his buffs, but I'd still say he's lower. Either top of B+ or A-. 07 is a character I have the least experience on, even though he's level 50 for me. I would say he's by far the most complex survivor, as he has to rely on his deception tactics with cloning and his cool GUI. And pathways too. Like I said, by far for me, this guy's the most complex, this guy's the most technical when it comes to both the skill bases. 07 has cool GUI, takes way too long to start up with a very lengthy cooldown period, but however, if you land it off, especially in bigger maps, it's very rewarding. Clone basically doesn't punish him anymore for just using it, basically is acts as a free distraction tool, and if hit, basically furthers your thing. Clone parry still exists with Clone, and that's all I have much to say. is that this guy has probably some forbidden tactics we don't even know about that exist because nobody just wants to play him. I'll probably find out when I get him, start getting him into level 100. Builderman, better than Ellie, I would say. I'd say better, but I'll put worse because Ellie is just more easier to understand than Builderman. Because I'm also basing this off of like how other people are using their IQ with it, not just like mine, and like at their full potential. I'm basing on how other people also play around their characters. Because like Noob could very easily drop down to C tier with other players. But I think it's just easier to play Elliot to get more value out of than Builderman, which, I mean, he has 2 spots. Turrets and dispensers. Turrets is by far his cheekiest tactic ever, because basically there's some spots that you could just set up that basically screw over any chase and force the killers to break them, or most people would just put them in like random spots just to get breaking off the get-go. If you place them in more cheekier spots, Builderman gets a lot more annoying, and dispenser is always a good source of healing. Can't really go wrong with both of these guys. Like I said, supports are the top of the top. Shedletsky, like I said, similar statement to about Elliot the Builderman. Shedletsky's that to guess. Sword is just a lot easier to hit, and you don't have to rely on a block to get a stun. Shedletsky has a stun, and plus he gets resistance off of it. And he has a self-healing that heals him for, I think, 40 health? It's been a while since I played Shed. But his overheal is pretty stupid. His stun still feels like it's 4 seconds, even though it's not. Shedletsky, really strong survivor. Raw Chance. From what I know, people say Chance is S tier. I just don't... I'll put him A. Top of A. I don't really see Chance... I know people would say Chance is S. I get he is the ranged stunner. Like, he has a ranged stun. But most of those times, it's like 2 seconds you're getting off those distance stuns. Which I just don't really see getting off of. But then again, Chance's existence is purely based off the name himself. Chance is where your health, your stuns, and your survivability is all dependent on your gambling and your luck. If you get lucky, yeah. If you're not, no. If you don't, you die. But Chance can be really annoying, especially because his distance can cancel out so many ranged stuns. Not ranged. Yeah, his ranged stun can cancel out so many abilities. And it's crazy once landed. It's just the Chance that I just don't trust with him. Yeah. Like the name. But other than that, yeah, A tier. All stunners and noob. Alright, and the last survivor, the newest one, Dusakar, A. I put him above noob because he's a support. Shielding is very stupidly strong. And the plasma beam is one of the most annoying tools in the entire game, especially if there's 2 of them. As basically you get consistently slowed down, it's just not fun. And it forces you to target them, which then forces them to use the shield. Because they can also screw over your chase really bad if they hit you with shield. As if they shield other survivors as killer, then killers can't really do much besides just try to do like 2 damage a hit. And shielding survivors is also really a good part to stall chases, as survivors can regain stamina during that period, since killers do like no damage besides like 2 I know of, with John Doe's corruption and 1x1's poison stack or glitch stacking. Other than that, Dusakar, new survivor, enjoy it, really fun. He's gonna be a pretty annoying menace to deal with because, like I said, supports are just too top. But other than that, that's what I have survivor side. Alright, now we're on to the killers. I would say all of them are good. Like I said, like just because a killer is the lowest does not mean they're like the worst. They're not like hard okay. But if like the killer's like all the way up here, yeah. Just so you know, they're all good. You could all win with them each. These are just based on their consistency and more so how playing them feels with it. And in the worst, they say B, top of B plus now, was B. 1X. 1X still has the same issues where he has to hard rely on his zoning abilities, and the only really good one is Entanglement, as Mass Affection's more of a 50-50 because of its slow startup and windup. And it's also slow projectile speed too, does not help. But it is punishing up close, which allows Entanglement. But Entanglement is basically his life essence with Chase, as it gives him the speed boost to guarantee himself a hit if up close, and stalls the player out pretty much. He is a snowballing character though, as if the more kills he gets, the more charges he gets added to his rejuvenate the ride. As up to like 5, it's like gets all chaotic. The more he has, though, the more chaotic it gets. As he gets speed boost, and he can get himself easily speed 3 to allow him to catch up to people during last man standing. This is where I use it the most. And his blinding ability is not bad now since he can speed stack, and it does stack with that blind speed with his unstable eye. But he still struggles with competent players as they could dodge, juke, or just straight up know how to zone, and verticality kind of screws him over as his projectiles can't be aimed upwards or downwards, only just horizontal. Next up, Jason goes A. Jason gets screwed over by maps like that are really loopable, the most notable one being Ultimate Assassin's Ground. Other than that, Jason is a character that just needs time to kill rather than the others, because Jason's the only killer that doesn't have any zoning abilities besides just run down and just do damage. He does have a really good punish to stunners who miss or people who are just lacking in general. His raging pace is basically used as second stamina bar or enhance his abilities, making gashing wound, or you can use it as a parry someone guessed, as timing this parry correctly and having a gashing wound available guarantees a free 70 damage right there to any survivor who misses. Other than that, like, Jason just struggles with people who just knows how to loop, and Jason gets severely screwed over upon supports, especially Ducigar, with his matchups. But Jason makes that up with his speed, and on to the next killer, Cool Kid, S. Cool Kid by far, like, out of all the killers, is the easiest to understand and easiest to get value out of compared to the rest, who just, you have to spend some time into thinking and playing them to understand their play style. Cool Kid, you could just go around, throw around, gets free damage, does a bunch of damage, has summons that does 15. Walk speed override, it's a busted move, corrupt nature, busted move up close because it guarantees a free hit. Walk speed override does, it should do 40, quote unquote, but it does actually, they didn't change it at all, it still does the unbalanced 45, which allows him the 2-shot supports if upon landing hit correctly. And E was supposed to be his ride or die, his walk speed override, but they pretty much changed that to just like, oh, you're low stamina, just take a free 45 damage. That's all I have to say about him. John Doe, top, nothing much to say. Cool Kid's pretty consistent. John Doe is by far more well, Cool Kid's more versatile. John Doe's by far more consistent on maps because he has a lot of better his map matchups are not bad compared to the other killers, where he can make some maps manageable. His worst map by far is Planet Voss, which benefits all the other killers but him, as he is the trapper and he has to force people into bad situations, which forcing them is really punishing to those survivors who get caught in them. He has a 404 that allows him to see. He has a free scan. Other than that, top of S, John Doe, killer tier list, done. Alright, for probably the longest part of the video, we got the skins tier list. Alright, let's start with the survivors and then we'll grade the killer ones separately. Alright, VIP noob. B. Nothing much to say. Unique for people who got the VIP. Free skin, can't complain. Inverted C. Nothing much. Trapped D. I can't just get behind it. Katie C. I don't get why people hate it. Spiders. D. Obnoxious noise, I hate it. Anacon. Okay, if they got rid of the little like noob head you could see if you use Ghostburger after the head, S. But unfortunately, it's A right now because of that. Get rid of that, please. B for retro. Combat dummy, also a B. Nothing much to say. Elf, B. I know people probably put it A. I just say it's B. I don't really like a bunch of the Christmas Survivor skins. I will say that. Just let you know. Noob cosplay. E. Ugly. Casual Elliot. C for casual. Supplier. We'll put it in C. You can't really say much either about it. Milkman. His milk's delicious. B. Pizza Man. C for crusty. Manager. Simplistic, but yeah, I'll put it A. Retro. B. Rudolph. C. Tom. A. Yunoria is the first S on the list. I don't think that's disputed that people wouldn't put Yunoria S. I don't know, that could be me. But too simplistic of a design and unique throwables overall makes it very impactful. C for boss, 2 time. I like, the reason why Phoenix is going in C and not in D is because of his second life. His second life design, I like the little ring. Jock, C, I like the design. Spiral, D, I hate it. Snow time, B. Actually, I'll move it up to the A. I like Snow time a lot. Kitty cat, D. Actually, we'll put an F tier. We'll make an F tier. We'll edit that. That's great, and we'll make it A. F. There we go. We have our own F tier. Kitty cat goes F. Spiral goes F. Trap goes F. Unfortunately. Celeste, A. Yorick, A. Sure. I like Yorick enough to go A. Matt goes in C. Camo goes in A. Modern goes in D. Hospital patient also goes in D. Gingerbread, D. Like I said, I'm not a fan of these Christmas skins. I just don't like them. I don't know. Classic guest goes into the B tier. Little brother guest also goes into B tier because of its unique sounds. Modern Matt goes into same tier as Matt. Bouncer guest. This is my guest skin main, so may be biased, may not be biased. A. Nacho also goes in A. Tommy Jarvis, B. Gene also goes in B. I like to only kill zombies, but not you. If they only got rid of the face animations, I get why, but if it was actually like the image, I would love it to put it in S. Dragon guess, it's Kiru, so it has to go A. Ultra kill. The new design? Yeah, I would put it like top of B. But I don't really care about the order right now. Disasters 07. We're in 07s now. It's D. Pizza Man, C. Dad, A. Because father figures are cool. Mailman, C. 07 has like a bunch of like mid skins at best for me. Burger and C. Reindeer and D. I'll put it C actually. I like it a little bit. Disco, also C. Anonymous, B. 1Z also in B. Windows, B. Decoy in C. Spy. They gotta give Spy more voice lines if he wants to go A or S for me, I'm not even gonna lie. He only has like 2, I think. One for being on fire and his death sounds. Now we're into Shedletsky. Shedletsky, Modern, F. Classic, D. Child Forsaken, C. Chicken, C, because there's just better skins now. Natasha, well, A. Can't go wrong with that. C for Vampire, because nobody uses this. Figures in B, because it's so cool skin. Santa, probably the best out of all the Christmas Survivor skin. Well, 2 times. I see Snow Time up there, never mind. A. Pirate. Also 2's better if you have it. C. Telebon, and probably the second S tier, I'm gonna be honest with you. So, Sutherland. B, I do like its unique sword. Engineer. Where? No, forgot the one obvious S tier. 5 more Shaletskis. Alright, we're now in the Builderman tier. Builderman, Modern, C. Skeletal, B. Festive, C. Construction Works also C. Fixer Up, D. Bob. Bob would go S if he has the classic animations, but everybody freaking also hates Bob, but I'm the exception. I like Bob. And you'll know why if you see a certain video of mine in the channel. We got B-Sod, and S has unique expressions, you know? And unique text, flavor text, you can't go wrong with that. Retro. High school, actually, A. Love the design. Retro also goes into A because it also has flavor text and the classic Roblox run animation. Oh no, it's going to be. I just don't like the sign. Alright, and now we're into Chance's skins. Chance. Alien. A tier for Alien. I kept forgetting to move the list. Hold up, let me adjust it. Oh yeah, sorry about that. I was looking back at it and it looked like the S tier wasn't shown at all, so hopefully, yeah, you guys can see it when I start adding stuff onto the list. I had some issue I just saw. I caught on the OBS and hopefully that's fixed. So now we're on to Chance's skins. We have Cowboy. Well, we're gonna put Alien in A, so Cowboy goes B. Because the gun change goes cool. Fast Food, C. Lamad, B. Work Clock also goes in B. Peak Day in the C. Broke in the D. mirror. If it was black mirror chance and not like blue mirror chance, A, but currently B. Ultra Kill chance also goes. I'll put Nexus Buddy in B. Oh wait, how did I forget to put engine? Okay, Engineer Builderman, A tier. I don't know, I forgot that, but apparently I did. Now we're on to the bonus skins and Dusakar. So let's get all these other skins out of the way too. So a newbie, B. Same with the gas station 4 player. I have a face. It's really close to being S. I'm going to A. It's a high A for me. Ball time, immediate S. Cashier, A. Alien Elliot, I'll put him next to Alien Chance, A. And then Agent. Agent Guess is by far my favorite agent of Nod's Chance. Second favorite. So A. Kai Guess goes S because unique animations. A. Overall, make him unique and cool. Girl, C. You still scream like a man. Boy, also C. Bobby, B. Dummy, A. Agent 07 goes into B. Shadow Ninja Shedletsky. I put the Shadow Ninja in B. All the ninjas go into like B. Awesome Ninja goes into A because it has a unique sword with a unique effect. So, and I really like that. And also I like the design too. We got. Let's see what else we have. Making sure this does not like block your S tier view. We got Memoria Shedletsky, S tier. McGilvery Shedletsky, B tier. We have Agent Builderman, also a B tier. And Agent Chance, A tier. For me. Let's see, loads of money. Chance, D tier. Vagabond, Shedletsky, A tier. Godfather, B tier. And Crafter goes into A tier. And lastly, we have the Dusakar. Well, there's still more skins. It's patch 2.1.1. But currently, we'll go with the Dusakar's lineup now. Dumbseka, D for Dumbseka. 2009 goes into D, B tier. Darkseid, A. I know people disagree with Darkseid, but I like it. Doomseka and B, and Ghost Theory goes into A. And that is all the Dusekers I graded. Now we got Shedletsky, again, 10 more of them. Fencer, C. Chef, C for Chef. Whales goes into the B tier. And then Knight goes into the A tier. Skyfleet goes into the B tier. Rockstar goes into the A tier. Third King also goes in A tier. Same with Blood Edge, B tier for Blood Edge. Idiots 07, B. They gave him hair, by the way. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. I'm thinking of Barber Jason, that's why. Scoutmaster. Scoutmaster Guest goes into the C tier. Steampunk Guest, B tier. Guardian Angel Shedletsky, B tier. Biker Guest, A tier. And Red Carpet Guest, C tier. Neo Elliot, B tier, and Bandit in the D tier. And that is every survivor skin tiered from S to F. Yeah. Alright, next one, quick one. Maps. Okay, so let's start off. This is Brandon Works, B. Brandon Works is a very not very survivor, it's like slightly survivor sided, as that castle is by far the most annoying part to play in as killer. And basically where you'll see everybody camp at in general. As survivor, this is probably your best choice of looping and sawing time out to win the game, as because this medium-sized map has a bunch of loopable spots. Decent verticality, mainly because of the castle, because you see nobody else goes to the other high ground place, which is interesting. The castle is by far the most annoying part, which I will not stop blabbering about castle because I hate castle. I hate the castle. Zoning wise, it's for killers. I'll mostly rank this off of killers and how Survivor feels playing on these. Survivors, it feels playing well. You know, it does have 3 generators compared to the usual 5, something you have to take into account. And the spots you can go in are pretty nice. And the castle is probably the biggest loop of all time. Killers, if survivors know what they're doing with the loop, it could get annoying, especially if they just start draining your stamina before you can even chase, or because of like the 125 meter stamina drain. John Doe does really well with this because he can shut down loops and shut down little crevices that survivors could go to in the backside of the map where the killer spawns at. Cool Kid also doesn't do too bad here, I'll say, because his minions could cause pressure, and his rock throw corrupt nature could also do not bad either. Dash is also still stupidly strong with walk speed override. Jason struggles a bit because, like I said, it does have a loop, which means Jason will have to take some time into committing into that loop to try to kill any survivor who's looping him, basically. Other than that, it's not a bad map. 1x doesn't. It's not bad of a 1x map because the verticality you could get away with sniping, but it's probably still one of his worser maps, I would say, because verticality screws him over. And if everybody's just getting camped at the castle part, which is the highest vertical part of the map, it's a whole different story. But his minions could get crazy pressure if established correctly. B for that, Yorick's. They revamped this. I think the revamp made it a lot less people camps like manor and stuff, and more camp towards like the other parts of the map. B, I would move it. It's lower of B because it still doesn't feel good to play on both sides. I just find it more of a boringer map to play. Killer, it feels a bit better to play, a bit more tolerable, as people just won't loop you behind that house anymore. But as Survivor, it does feel more limiting as an area. You still have Graveyard to play behind and that top of hill. But it kind of locked off Manor. But Manor still has like a decent spot to play off of what you're doing. Alright, Glass Houses. By far the most balanced map in the entire game. I would argue it's like the best map currently at the entire game, as there's just nothing that really, it's both balanced on both sides. There's only one noticeable loop, but even then that loop's not that bad to deal with for killers. And this is where every character has their most effective ability, is most effective at too. Killers, 1x has decent throwing spots and can zone pretty well without worrying about high grounds. Cool Kid has a bunch of spots you can put pressure off of by just existing, you know. John Doe has a bunch of trap spots and puddle setups. Completely forgot the name of his digital footprint. And Jason can chase pretty well without needing to worry about distant looping. Overall, my favorite map to play and probably the best map in the entire game at the moment. Planet Voss. See, Survivor doesn't feel well playing because it favors the killer mostly wholly, as Jason, 1x1, and Cool Kid get like severe benefits off this. Especially 1x1, where because this is probably his best map in the entire game. And John Doe kind of struggles because there's no like certain spots people just walk by, forcing them to have a digital footprint by, which just forces John Doe to just lock down just random areas and see what happens. Other than that, see for Planet Voss. This is Horror Hotel. I say Horror Hotel's A now after the revamp because it doesn't feel as annoyingly loopable to play against Jason, because by far this was Jason's worst map. But now it's pretty balanced for Jason. There are spots people can hide in, but then again, you can just read it with your stamina. I wouldn't say it's that much of an issue for Survivor either, as there's a bunch of spots to play off of. You have the ball pit, the loop around, and the kitchen, and the blue room. Still a bunch of spots to play off even after the changes, which made the map overall less linear, which I liked. Ultimate Sass Ground, F. This is by far the worst map in the entire game for killer, as basically 3 out of the 4 killers just can't do anything if players just know how to loop correctly, as this map has way too many loops and way too many distant spots that just screw skill over. Jason could not catch up regardless of the loop. Cool Kid, same thing. And 1x1 gets screwed over by the cave looping spot. While John Doe can only really lock down those looping spots with his digital footprint since they're that small for the size of. But even then, it's still a pretty big map for John Doe to go around. It's nothing much to say. Survivor, it also has 3 generators too. Pretty annoying map to play on, it's killer. Survivor, you're chilling. Most rounds of Survivor, you should be chilling, regardless of it. There's also a bunch of just water just everywhere that just doesn't feel right to play around. I just don't get it. As killers get hard punished from it, if survivors are distant enough, they'll just take it waters as shortcuts. Overall, horrible design map. If you're asking me how to change it, you gotta cut off one of the loops. I think you gotta do similar how to manner, or no, just get rid of the dojo loop and then change cave to make it less linear and add more other ways to go through it. In the new map, Cool World, A tier. I actually think it's the second best map in the game because it feels very fair for both sides. Because 1x1 and Jason feel well to play. Cool Kid, I feel like struggles the most out of everyone. John Doe has some very linear spots he could put these traps at the 4 survivors to not go through them, which are good. Overall, a good map. Nothing else to say. Yeah, this is the map tier list. Alright, next up, ability tier list. Ooh, this is gonna be interesting, Loki. Okay. Oxycola. 2 uses, 10-second 1 speed boost. Negates any slowness effects beforehand with a 12-second cooldown. And then basically you use it back to back. Since it's 2 seconds per use, it's half. It's just... I think that goes S tier by default, even though it does have usages. The efficiency of it is just way too good to pass up on. Slate Skin. Let's say it goes B. You can use it to tank up certain hits or just ignore effects, statuses, such as slowness or any damage over time effects. Overall, a very solid ability to have. It allows noobs to tank up and recover stamina greatly. Ghostbreaker goes A, as it gives noob invisibility and undetectable for 40 seconds with the 40-second cooldown. The cooldown buffs made Ghostbreaker better. Invisibility also kind of helps a little bit with making him harder to see, even though most characters shouldn't really fall for the harder to see part of the ability. But you're mainly getting it out of it is undetectable. Pretty strong ability. Call it there. That's Noob's kit. Ranked. Elliot, pizza throw. Uh-oh. Pizza throw goes S. You throw a pizza that heals people for like a 35 health that could stack up more depending on Elliot's generator completions. That's pretty much nothing to say there. Next up we have, if I can find Rush Hour. Alright, yep, Rush Hour S. 3-second speed boost with speed 3. You know how crazy that is of a speed momentum change? That's just it. Alright, Clone. Clone got buffed for 07. It goes in the A tier basically, as you can just throw a free deception every 25 seconds. And you still have the tech such as parry cloning and distracting, or parry or clone blocking for you. Which is all crazy to say about. Teleport, cool GUI, B. It has a really long windup, but the reward of successfully pulling it off could be massive and game changing depending on situation. Interject, this just switches up your clone D. Alright, guest block. Resistance 5 for about 2 seconds, but you're slowed quickly after. A, it's punishing, but you get away with it. But if you can get away with it, it's well. With guest block, you can get away with it, and blocking gives you a speed 1 upon hit, which even if that means if you're not going to force a punch out of it, you do get a chance, you do get escape opportunity with it. And then we got guest charge, C. Charge is nothing besides push the killer back and do like 20 damage. You're only really hitting this to stall off other people being chased or stall off your own chase, as hitting it and timing it well could be rewarding, as you could completely just ignore a killer's hit. That's just pretty much to say about that. Punch. B, because it's the weakest stun out of the 3 spots. Out of all stunning opportunities, this is by far the weakest one, as it only stuns for 2 seconds. The parry stuns for 3.5 seconds, but you have to play right off the block, which could get baited hard and hard punished. We got turret build for Builderman. Turret build goes A, because turret is actually S, because turret could single-handedly change how chases go if built, as they could completely stall out chases to be infinite loops, forcing killers to break them, or just slow that gives survivors that chance of escape. Really strong ability, as slowness 2 is just super strong against killers. Dispenser build, A. You're building a free heal station that heals 1 per second. It just has slow heal, but you can't really go wrong with healing. Alright, Shaletsky's kit, sword, A. Shaletsky's stun is really strong. Well, stuns for 3.25 seconds, which is a pretty decent margin for killer chase times, as killers need that time to stun. Killers need that time. Nothing much to say about that. Chicken, S. You're healing your. Actually, no. It's A. You're giving yourself 40 health, but at the cost, it starts at 15, but you have to let it regen up to 40. Beforehand, you were given instant health, which was significantly more broken than. Which would put it at S. Coin flip, chance. C. C for chance. Nothing much to say. You're just flipping for to activate your stuff 50-50. If you fail to 50-50, you take a stack of weakness. That stacks up until user ability. Gun. S. Gun gives chance stun he needs, as it's the most distant stun with about, I think, a 10% chance of failing. Either 5% from the gun blowing up or 5% from it just not firing. Pretty strong. Can stun up for the most time, being 5 whole seconds, which is just crazy. What the? Alright, gamble your life, B. Your chance can start off up to 70 to 90 or 60 to 90 health, which means you could, at the get-go, meaning if you rolled this, you could go up to 60 health or 130, which gives Chance the highest health pool in the game if he hits the full 130, which is all good. But you have to spend charges and time to get it, and you could get lower health from the gambling, so that's also that fix. B. Hatfix doesn't give any buffs besides fix the gun if it breaks, and gets rid of your stacks of weaknesses. Nothing much to say there. Now we're into the Dusakar. Spot protection S. Stupid ability. Freaking gives survivors resistance 4 upon using it, and has infinite range, I think, at the moment. Hopefully they nerf the distance he could use the ability on, because just using it at infinite range is just devious. It shouldn't be a thing. Also, this thing lasts for, like, I think 12 whole seconds too, which is just nuts. Dusakar with the plasma beam, A. It has a slow windup, but hitting this on a killer gives him slowness 2 for 3 seconds, or survivor speed 1 for 4 seconds. This can help survivors and get out of chase, and significantly screws killers' chases over with that, and forces more of an intermission period between the chase, between both the guy you're shooting it at or the killer. I wouldn't use this if you're being chased, though, as the slow windup can be very, very much punished, which is why it's not an S. This used to give overheal, by the way. Also, I think now that's pretty much all of the survivor abilities. On to the next with the killer abilities. Killer abilities, we'll say here, all the M1s go into A because they're all strong and their main source of killing. Well, besides 1x, he goes B. I'm just playing, this goes A. Alright, Jason. I just realized that was his behead. Beheading, B. It gives helpless for a lengthy amount of time upon hit, but basically gives Jason a negligible slow. You're mainly using this as a combo extender upon chase or a finisher. You You also do 35 when enraged with it. It's B. It's helpless is the main thing I mainly get out of it, and free 20 damage from a distance because you get a short lunge out of it too is also not bad. Gashing Wound A. By far, it's a really punishing ability upon missed stuns or just people just caught lacking, just either using a mid-consumable or just not paying attention on generators or out of stamina. It's a guaranteed 50 damage upon landing this with about 3 seconds of end lag, I think. It feels like. This gets significantly buffed with Raging Pace as it can do up to 70, and if you can Jason parry with it, that's a free 70 damage right there you're doing to stunners and sentinels. Which is just nuts. Raging Pace goes into A. Base buffs Jason walk speeds and enhances all of his moves. However, it's only one move you could use. But even that's stupidly strong, as you could use it as a chase extender, as it basically is a regain stamina period, as you're walking significantly faster, and can enhance your moves, like I said, with Raging Pace, parry to Gashing Wound. Now on the Cool Kid, S. Corrupt Nature. It feels like it's S tier because of how quick it is, and you're guaranteed a free slow upon landing. Using this in close chases is just very easy to land, and makes just like the survivor feel miserable, as that free slowness just allows a guaranteed hit, and with the short cooldown for a free 15 damage every time, makes it always just not bad to deal. It just makes it too good of an ability. Walk Speed Override. A. It does, I would say it's the most punishing move in the entire game to miss stuns or just getting caught in general, as Gashing Wound gives you like a free period of like I said, of after the ability's used. If you get hit with Walk Speed Override, there's like no end period, meaning Cool Kid just can immediately start chase right after he lands it on you, which is just awful, which actually I'll put this top of A. Which is just a crazy way of just saying it. Like Walk Speed Override, but it is very punishing, especially upon missing, as either you can lose a distance of chase, or you could get caught hit by a stunner afterwards. Walk Speed Pizza Delivery B. You're summoning 2 people. That is your source of detection for Cool Kid. It is okay at best. The Pizza Men do, I think, 20 damage now. They don't do as like the normal 28 beforehand. Getting hit with these guys could be extremely punishing, as slowness, especially getting caught by Cool Kid, will pretty much just end you on the spot. And they last for a pretty long amount of time, and they can be annoyingly persistent. And it can catch you lacking if you're really unfortunate. Now on the John Doe's abilities. C. I think Corrupt Nature has to go S. No, Corrupt Energy. Because this thing is by far one of the greatest abilities in the game. You can spike up to 48 damage with a combo. Get a speed 1 for like 7 seconds after if you hit someone with it. And you can force people into bad situations with it. It basically just adds a set of walls that just can lock people in and guarantee John Doe kills that can really turn the game into his favor. Digital Footprint. I'll put A. Digital Footprint upon stepping on mid-chase, especially against the John Doe, basically equals death, as you are given a slowness 2 and a corruption, meaning you're not only taking damage, but John Doe also gets a speed 1 during that whole duration, meaning he can very easily catch up to you upon it. Other than that, it does last for about 2 minutes, and is very punishing to everyone. And John Doe could combine this with his Corrupt Nature and setups to force a survivor to go through to just die. I'm talking about one in glass houses especially. And his 404 B. I think C, because it just only allows John Doe to see survivors. Nothing else crazy there. Now we got 1 by 1 Mass Infection goes B. It's big, it's very punishing, especially up close, but it just has such a slow windup and such a slow projectile speed, it just does not feel rewarding to hit at all. Or even use at all at times, because just how unreliable it is as a move. Entanglement. If one killer has an S tier ability, well, Jason doesn't, but Entanglement goes A. it allows 1x1 to catch up the survivors upon hitting with a speed buff and locking people in place to who's hit. Other than that, nothing much to say. It's basically 1x1's life essence of a move. Unstable Eye goes B. It's 1x1 scan ability, but blinds him and gives him a speed 1 in the process. But with the buffs, it basically makes him faster than Jason slightly, which means he could catch up the survivors very close to him upon activating the ability. I'd say Rejuvenate and Rotten's S tier. I know people would probably put A, but as upon snowballing it, the more people you kill, the more minions that spawn, even though it does have the longest cooldown in the entire game. Those minions could very legitimately alter the whole situation, as especially killing them gives the killer a speed 1. Which means 1x1 could stack up to speed 3, meaning he could very easily catch up the people upon killing 3 of his minions. Which is really effective in Last Man Standing, as he could just basically zoom across the entire map just to catch up. Other than that, yeah, this is my killer ability tier list. Now, we have 3 more to go. On to the next. We got Emotes tier list. Hero. This will be brief. The hero goes into A. Hikari S. Bag Up C. Stock Dance B. Actually, no, A. 222 A. Skeleton B. Gonton B. California Girls B. Insanity B. Subterfuge goes A. Khalid B. Mr. Quiet S. Ain't no love in my man. If they could fix the loop, because for some reason the audio starts desyncing with the animation, A, and make it louder. Unfortunately, it has to go B. Jump Style, I like it. A. Distraction Dance. Give It Music, bros. D. Ganglion. A. Jumping for Joy. C. Monster Mash. B. Sakuna. A. So Retro. C. A Now. A. Cat Dance. B. Dio. C. Egg Rolled. S tier. Ashley. A for Ashley. Locked. D. Wave. If you don't have Wave equipped, what are you doing with yourself? This is the best emote by far. Company Groove. B. Headbanger Dance Music. B. Subject 3. B. Poison. B. Brick Battle S. Prince. Claire de Lune actually goes hard, so B. Nightly Shimmy. A. BYT. B. Pick Up the Phone. B. Hot Dog. C. Wait. B. Drumsticks. It's unique, so I'll give it B. Katatsi Ticket, give it music. C. Owl Guy. It kind of downgrade, I'm not gonna lie with the music. I get it though, but I just don't like it. TikTok, B. Silly. A. Gritty. Give the gritty music, please. C. No. A. Silly Billy. C. And that was my emotes tier list. Now on to Milestone tier list. Noob. Milestone 4 goes B. Milestone 3 also goes B. Milestone 2 C. Milestone 1 D. Nothing much to say there. Barely minimum changes. That's all I have to say. Elliot. Much fashionable change. Milestone 1 goes into the B tier. Milestone 2 also in the B tier. Milestone 3 A tier. Milestone 4 S. Milestone 1 for 2-time D. I'll put this there. Milestone 2 goes to B. I like Milestone 2 more than Milestone 3. That's the thing. So C for Milestone 3. Milestone 4. Yeah, I'll put S. Milestone 1 Shaletsky. D. Milestone 2 Shaletsky. A. Milestone 3 A. Milestone 4 S. Builderman Milestone 1 C. Builderman Milestone 2 D. Builderman Milestone 3 goes also in B. Milestone 4 A. Milestone 1 Chance. B. Milestone 2 Chance. B. Milestone 3 Chance. B. These chance skits have such minimal changes, it's just, Milestone 4 Chance. You might as well go A. This is my survival list. This is all the Survivor Milestone skin tier list currently. Yeah. Lastly, we have the Killer tier list with Milestone skins. Milestone 1 Jason, C. Milestone 2, also C. Milestone 3 B. Milestone 4 A. Savini Jason, S. Milestone 1 John Doe, D. It literally just gets slightly desaturated. That's all you want to know about it. Milestone 2, B. Milestone 3, A. And Milestone 4 has to go with B. Milestone 3. They do have custom chase themes. The ones A and S right now currently do. Milestone 1 by 1, D. Milestone 2, D. Milestone 3, D. Milestone 4 goes into like B because he looks cool. Actually, I'm Milestone 3 is C. And just like that, that was the Forsaken Everything tier list. Probably gonna get burned alive in the comments, but